I blame the internet. It's the internet. We're closed already. Now I'm gonna be open with you. How about that? It's my sign. It can mean whatever I want it to mean. I blame the internet. You could say the phone, but a phone's just a phone. It's what's on the phone that's the problem. It's the internet. In the past, we just used to watch stuff or read things and get programmed. Now we can program ourselves and become of a cringe compilation or humiliate ourselves. And there's so much stuff. I mean, I've done it. I'm not special. I'm like anybody else. There's a lot of cringe compilations. There's a lot of confessions of where people confess like the most intimate, personal stuff. You're supposed to be telling God those things and telling him you're sorry, not putting it online for any stranger to see so that you can be put in a compilation of people humiliating themselves. Yeah, I know, we can be pretty awful. But the phone, or rather the internet, making videos of ourselves and putting them on the internet, has encouraged us to humiliate ourselves, and without redemption. Really, there's no redemption in that. If you want redemption, if you're repentant, you're supposed to take it to God in prayer and tell him you're sorry, or whoever you wrong. Sometimes you have to apologize to people. Other times it's not afforded. You can't just go invading yourself into somebody's life once they've moved on and say, hey, what? I'm sorry. Sometimes it matters and sometimes it doesn't. It's situational. But what does matter is the tremendous damage that's been done to us collectively, globally, by making videos or having videos of us being a bad person, and then somebody else making a video on their phone and putting it online, which is a helpful thing. I mean, it's evidence. Have you ever seen those videos where the cops throw drugs in somebody's car to bust them, and then the guy's like, whoa, what are you doing? Are those for real or are they fake? Is that propaganda too? It's hard to say. Edward Bernays, who wrote the book called Propaganda, he knew how effective a programming tool media was. Like videos and TV shows and movies. It's the next level witchcraft and sorcery. But now what do we have? We have AI, where you can just whip up your own fantasies to the point where they just started to make laws. You can't take your celebrities or girls you don't know, or guys you don't know for that matter, and do what you've been doing with Photoshops and AI face mapping and fakes. You can't do that stuff anymore. You can't take your favorite celebrities or people that don't want to have sex with you and put them in sexual situations. The grok glue face trend, do you know about this? They were making a prompt that said face dripping with glue, blush cheeks and puppy dog eyes and tongue sticking out. And they were making their own money shots of whoever they wanted to. And that's a weird thing. And it's a foregone conclusion. It's been done already. So people are limited only by their own creativity to put you in sex, maybe not you or me, but to put girls they like, rather, in sexual situations against their will. Digital rape. How many minutes has this video been going? Can I say that? It doesn't matter. I was never getting into algorithms. The phone's a ruiner. I mean, it's been used globally. I remember being in the Walden's parking lot, and there was a 8.5 by 11 copy that said, you can get on welfare, and if you do, we'll give you and each member of your family a phone. You can just have phones and join the welfare system. Why are they putting flyers for welfare phones in Walden? They were. They want everybody on a phone. And then those evil bad guys of BlackRock, who was it, Larry Fink, that said, who was it that said in the future you'll have nothing and you'll love it? Yeah, you'll have everything taken away. You have nothing, but you'll have a phone. And then when they take the phone away, they want it to be like a chip. We already know that for pets that you adopt from the pound, a lot of them are chipped. I don't know if it's all of them, if all pets that go to the pound get chipped, but I'm sure they would if they could. But I know somebody that got a pet from the pound, and they said, oh yeah, all the pets from the pound are chipped to make sure that they're safe, so that they know where they go, so they can track the pets from the pound. What a bullshit expense. Why? Is taxes paying for that? Unnecessary. And what about when the chips, how long does the chip inside of a pet last? Oh, it'll last their whole life. Why? Because they live shorter than us? Cats can live a long time, right? I think some cats can live longer than dogs. Dogs can live a long time too. I've heard people's pets last having a dog that lived 19 years. I guess that's with the help of a vet. I don't know. I had a dog that lived 16 years. I thought that was a long time. And cats can live even longer than that. I remember somebody saying their cat was 23 years old, and I was like, it looks kind of old, but it wasn't blind or stumbling around. So I don't know how long. Maybe it's what makes the pets have short lifespans is that they eat pet food. Maybe that's it. I've seen roadkills going into food, into the Alpo thing. They take it's garbage bags, the things that were siphoning the dog food that was coming out the bottom, like they had these big things of meat, and what was coming out of the bottom was garbage bags and and animal collars and all kinds of other, I'm trying to think of what else. It was just, there's gross stuff in dog food. It's not good for you. And then I remember that old people that were poor, when everything was cheaper, that there were still poor people, and old people on a pension or on a budget were eating cat food and dog food. Well, it's meat, and maybe they didn't have teeth. But that was like an old punchline of something that was sad but true, is that some people that were old and the elderly poor were eating dog food and cat food, and they were like, hey, we grew up during the Depression, it's food, and they're eating it. I think it's killing your pets. I think cat food and dog food is probably poison, and it's all garbage, and that's probably why pets don't live so long. But the internet is the problem. I think I went off too far on talking about, and they want us to eat bugs. I don't know how many of these I can keep doing where I just complain. I had another video. I think I'm just going to heap it into this one that I wanted, a subject I wanted to talk about. Are the women okay? They're not. The women aren't okay. I blame the internet. Women looking into a compact mirror of vanity. Now they can look into their phones and they can do faces. Do you know the story of Narcissus? It's a Greek fable where Narcissus was a very handsome man, so he just kept staring in his reflection. Well, that's why there's an epidemic of narcissism. They're staring into their black mirror. They're staring into the phone like Narcissus. Only Narcissus could just stare into the water and say, look at how beautiful I am, right? But now we can take pictures and show it to everybody. Hey, look at how beautiful I am. And they're doing, I always forget this word. They're doing sizzle reels. No, that's not it. They're doing smoldering looks into the camera. Thirst traps. I always forget that one. They're looking into their phone and they're making thirst traps. There was a lot of thirst traps made when they told everybody in the world, hey, stay home and take a bubble bath and stay away from other people and cover those looks up with a mask. You want to show the world what you look like? Make a TikTok thirst trap. So they're doing that, and they're giving, I'm not going to do it, but they give the looks. Remember, it started out as duck face, and now, they have all these. It's narcissism. It's Narcissus staring at his own reflection, but now, maybe Narcissus was looking in the water saying, hey, come look at my reflection. Look at how beautiful I am. Now people just make videos on their phone and put them on the internet. So the internet's the problem. It's not just the vanity thing on the internet. It's people are willing to humiliate themselves, and they think they'll make money. And some people did. I think it died down, but the NPC trend, One of the things I've seen, I kind of hate watching content. The stuff that I watch, I don't watch anything that uplifts and inspires because nobody's offering it. What am I supposed to see that's going to make me feel better about the world? I feel like I'm just being informed, but I also feel like whether it's, I seek out stuff that's truthful. I'm being informed, but also I'm being programmed. I'm sick of daily slop too, but isn't it all daily slop? I limited my video making to 3 days a week, and I changed it. It used to be Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, and now I'm like, oh, what difference does it make? I'm in a realm in a shadow band here anyway. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So those are my video days, and if I want to put up more than that, you know, I'm sure I will. It's at my own discretion for my free video making where I don't make a dime. The maxim that I've lived by in terms of making content was, I talk about stuff of God, or I've come to do that. So those who sell spiritual truth injure themselves spiritually. I believe this. So even if people are closer to God than I am, and He works through them in a way that He isn't with me, I still feel like selling spiritual truth is injuring them spiritually, and yet He helps them, and I just feel like I keep calling God and He never picks up the phone and calls me back. I'm tired of leaving messages on God's answering machine. I know He gets the message, but you know, call me back. Anyway, that's just my most significant gripe in my life. I guess it could be worse, right? That God doesn't talk to me the way that I want Him to. Holy Spirit this and Holy Spirit that. I have no idea what the hell these people are talking about. But anyway, I do know for sure that the internet is the thing that's the ruiner, and they want us to be on it, and they want us to be humiliating ourselves, and a lot of people are doing it. I've done it. I'm not special. I've made embarrassing videos. I'm trying not to do that. I don't know that I need to make videos anymore. I don't know how many more of these I have in me. Maybe I'll start spacing them out. I know that the thing that, if you want to get into the algorithm at all, it's not about quality content. It's just about making content. That's why people call it daily slop, because people that are making a living making videos, you know, bless them if they can do it. You got to work. So the rewards would go to those who make content, but most of the content that I see out there is just complaining about everything. And, you know, anybody that's saying how great it is a bozo and a liar. I think it's good to be able to point out the good things in life. But I think that the general trend that isn't going to go away is negativity. I mean, that's how how they got people to stop watching the news, was make it negative and show you that all news is the same news. Have you ever seen those videos where they're letting you know, like, look, here's all across the country in America, and they probably have these videos for all over the world, that wherever you live, that they're told what to say. Maybe you'd like to buy a present for yourself. That's the way that I saw it originally. Conan O'Brien made fun of it. He said, look, all these newscasters are just telling the same news story all across the country. They're given the same script and they read it, so that the news isn't news. It's, here's how we want you to think. Maybe you'd like to buy a present for yourself this year. Why? For the Saturnalia? It's the phone. It's the internet. Those two things together. I'm gonna go to the library now. Can I ask you a question? No. Those two things together, it's a killer. And it's destroyed and ruined women. Who knew that women were so secretly vain, and that the worst were brought out in them through the phone? I know that attractive men and women, that's vanity goes along with that. They know that by their looks, they're afforded things that others aren't afforded. Boy, now more than ever, women are honest. They'll tell you they have a rendezvous with a hot guy one night, and that's their new standard. They think, well, now I got that guy that one night. Maybe I'm gonna have to raise my standards, and you were just somebody that he banged on an off night. But you're not going to get that guy. And I don't think men have illusions about that. They bang a really hot chick and are like, wow, I don't think I should have been there, but I can't believe that's pretty crazy. Maybe I can do that again. But I don't think that they're expecting that they will keep her. Unless she has kids, then it's more possible if you want to take that on. Somebody's got to raise those kids. I'm tired of hearing the thing about you don't want a woman with her kids. What's the temperament of the woman that has kids that is deigned to let you in between her legs? Somebody's got to raise those kids. And obviously the dad doesn't want to, or he's not allowed to. People need each other. I think women are not okay. Men will be okay without a woman. That's proven. But women are not okay without a man. And I know that society has set itself up temporarily for a time that women without a man can have a house. I know women like this. They have all the things, all the material things, but they don't have a man, and like, I don't need one. But the women that I know didn't get all the material things without a man. They kind of leaned on men, and have kids, and they've leaned on men to get all the things, and then they got all the things, and then they broke up with the boyfriend. And so anything I'm talking about that's from my life is very common, so it's in lots of other people's lives. So yeah, women have the things, but you still used men to get them, especially if you're a single mom or you leaned on your parents or whatever it is. Very few and far between is the self-made woman. Usually you have to climb on, you have to let a couple of men climb on top of you and use that to get out. How long is that going to last? Even if it is a self-made woman that said, I didn't do anything with men or take anybody's money, or not even from family or friends or whatever. That's hard to do, but there are women that have done it. And so it is attainable. But that all falls to shit as soon as society collapses, and that's where they're trying to lead us to. They want to break down society. What are you going to do then, bitch? It's not going to be easy. The first thing that's going to be compromised is your body sexually, because that's the first thing that women willfully compromise. What's your most valuable thing? It's your chastity, and women are throwing it away. And even digital harlotry. I'm a virgin that does OnlyFans. Bullshit. You're a false idol, and men are paying tribute to you with their gooning. That's idolatry. In Japan, they're transparent about it. They just call them idols. Go watch the documentary that's in my playlist, Stuff Other People Made for you to watch. Go look at my playlist, Weird Japan, and just watch Otaku 1994 if YouTube's allowed it to be there. And you can see, why do I always pick Otaku 1994? Because it has the year in the title. It got released in 1994. They had to make it before then. Look at how messed up Japan is. They're 20 years ahead of us in technology, and they're 20 years ahead of us in being socially engineered organisms. Look at their population rate. Look at how everybody is flocking to Japan to ruin it, making shitty videos and all that stuff. You don't want that. You don't want to be like Japan. Look at Korea. Korea is where all the people in the world are going to get plastic surgery. It's enculturated that they would get plastic surgery no matter what they say, to get plastic surgery to look less Korean. And then people from other parts of the world are going, the West, are going to Korea to get cheap plastic surgery to look more Korean. People have begun fetishizing Korean pop bands where the teenage boys have plastic surgery to look like teenage Korean girls and faggots. And whatever. That's social engineering. Look at what's been done to Japan, and then look at what Japan did to Korea. You see what I mean? Like, they go together. So people, Korea this, Korea that. And they're buying their toys from China, the Pop Mart with the Labubu, whatever the hell it is. And it's just like a evil bunny rabbit. It's an evil Easter rabbit thing. It looks like where the wild things are, little ugly demon things. People are buying bits of plastic, pushing the last throes of consumerism as they try to push us into a post-consumer society. Post-consumer means after the consumer. That's you. That's a consumer. That fits into this thinking where they're trying to program us. In the future, you'll have nothing and love it. And then we'll take the phone away too, and it'll be a chip in your brain, and we'll give you mind-fi, and we'll tell you how to think, and then we'll kill you with 5G and make you eat pet food, and you'll eat bugs. They want to do these things. I'm not saying they'll get their way, but they want us to they want to roll over us to think it's a foregone conclusion. Yeah, we told you how it's going to be. We're just telling you, you will eat some bugs. You'll have nothing. Fuck you. They won't. They don't have to get their way just because they programmed it. Just because we know that they spent 100 years programming it with assholes like Fabian Socialist, H.G. Wells, and that bozo. I got to watch the vulgarities. And that bozo Aldous Huxley and his brother Julian, who coined the word transhumanism. What's trans mean? It means crossing over. Humanism means crossing over from being humans, I guess, or into Star Trek space communism, because that's like a humanist show, and I'm not a humanist kind of guy. And humanism isn't a good thing. It's not a good term. So transhumanism together, the Huxley brothers, bozos. Snakes, part of a brood of vipers. And that was a long time ago, is why I bring them into this. That's over 100 years ago, those guys. What's a creepy thing that I've seen? Aldous Huxley reading you his abbreviated version of Brave New World. He's not a good guy. The Doors of Perception. He just wanted you to take drugs. He put it into Brave New World. In the future, everybody's high all the time. Yeah, you need to be. It's a bummed out society. I want a vape right now. Bring me my vape. I want a vape right now. I'm not going to have one. But yeah, I mean, I want to just, make that offering to a demon. Make me feel better for a time. I'm not going to do it. And if that even is what it really is vaping or smoking cigarettes really burnt offerings to demons? I don't even know if I've said that before. I don't know if I really believe that anymore. It might be propaganda to make people feel miserable so that there's nothing that could ease your distress. Wine to ease your distress. That's in the Bible, right? It's in the Psalter. Does that mean wine without alcohol in it? If it's just grape juice, do you ever have a cup of grape juice and it eased your distress? Bullshit. Do you ever put a bundle of grapes, overpriced, expensive grapes without seeds? Do you ever put them into your juicer and drink them and go, I've eased my distress? No, they're talking about booze. Okay? But what kind of booze? When Bill Gates is willing to put millions of dollars into Budweiser so that people will keep drinking it, you know that it's poison. Bill Gates isn't a computer guy. He's a eugenics legacy. He wants to go into his daddy's business. He wants to give us one education worldwide so we'll think the same way. That's great. The McDonald's, Microsoft education. That's awful. But just because they plan it doesn't mean they have to get their way. Sometimes they have to pay up, and we can pray to God that they have to pay up down here where they're still alive, and not like, ultimately when they die and they go to hell for what they did. Time to break up monopolies. Have we forgotten that we're supposed to demand that they break up monopolies? Disney's failing and they're hemorrhaging. They're nothing they make, nobody likes it. Oh, we don't like any of the Disney stuff. It doesn't matter. They have so much money and they own so much. They're just like, let's keep postmodern breaking all the shit. What's the canon of the West? It's movies. It's not books anymore. It's movies and TV. So they're just destroying canon. Destroy the culture and we'll rebuild it into what we want, and we'll just keep giving them LGBT, communist, crooks, robbers, and thieves, and those will be your good guys. It's not about the it is an anti-hero, but it's not anti-hero Batman or the Punisher or other types of Charles Bronson vigilante. No, it's just robbers and looters and murderers, and that's your Disney Plus streaming heroes, right? Or Caspian Andor, or whatever that was that they did for Star Wars, where he's part of the resistance and he just murders people and shit. And then whatever, Ironheart, there's a black chick and she stole an Iron Man suit. I'm better than Tony Stark. The hell with him. I'm Iron Man. Whatever. Fine. Nobody likes it. It doesn't matter. It's that thing that Larry Fink said where it doesn't matter what you want. We just keep hammering through and give them what you tell. Whatever we tell you, you give them that. And then on top of it, I think he's also the guy that said, in the future, own nothing and love it. Telling us there's not enough by pushing us on top of each other and taking everything away. And then manipulating the weather. Go watch the NASA Cloud Machine videos. I gotta redo that one, I guess, huh? Yeah. Yeah. Start praying. Keep praying to God. That's all you got. Sorry. I don't know. Maybe it's going good for you. I feel like I'm doing okay, but it's not. Other people I know, it's not good for them. And I'm like, yeah, I know it sucks. Buy a Bitcoin for your grandkids. If you'll ever even have any. Or if it would matter that they had a Bitcoin, because they'll be so stupid, shitting themselves, unable to read. What are they going to do with your Bitcoins if they're going to be the Epsilon class of Huxley's Brave New World? I didn't realize that fraternities called them House Epsilon. Huxley used the alpha, double plus, alpha, beta, delta, gamma. I didn't realize there was fraternities that called themselves Epsilon, but in Huxley's Brave New World, Epsilon is the dumbest class. They're the autards. They're the off the charts on the spectrum people that are good for one thing, and we don't really need them to do anything. Is that Gen Beta? Gen Alpha? They're in diapers. They grow up in diapers, they stay in diapers, and they still can't read. And they just want to look at a tablet. Did you see the videos where they take the kid away from the tablet? I know somebody that they have their kid can't go to bed without the tablet. They don't have the tablet all day long, but they need to look at it to go to sleep. I want to punch them in the face for doing that to their kid. And there's people I know. I really I heard that I wanted to punch that bitch in the face. Forgive me, Lord, for being so honest about how I really feel. But you knew anyway before I told you. And now I'm making it public and global, but, for like 20 people to watch. What am I even going to call this one? Women are not okay, and I blame the internet. I don't know. I'll figure out a title. But I don't know. You knew this already. I'm just pointing it out to you again. I didn't do this to bum you out. I keep telling you guys to pray. I hope you're doing it. Maybe your prayers are having more effect than mine. Mine feel like I'm leaving messages on God's answering machine. Or it's like when you talk to a therapist and they don't say anything the whole time. I don't talk to therapists, but I've heard from people that go to them that the therapist doesn't. It's a punchline. It's a joke of the therapist that they don't say it. You just spill your guts and they don't say anything, but they're taking notes. And then you got to pay them money. I don't know. I would say it'd be better to pray to God. It's the same thing. You do all the talking and it doesn't cost you any money. It's just time well spent. You're sorting it out with God and hoping that He'll call you back. He knew anyway. The therapist doesn't know shit. But when you pray to God, like God already knows. He just wants you to tell Him you're sorry and then stop doing the things that are making you miserable. If you've talked to Him enough to make it make sense. Like, yeah, maybe I should stop doing the thing. I remember I used to drink too much and I'd go to confession and I'd say, yeah, I drank too much again. And the priest said, you know, at some point it would be better if you just stopped drinking. You want to be forgiven of sin, but you can't just like, you know, I'm going to drink too much and then go to confession. I'm going to fornicate again. That was a problem for me too. I'm going to fornicate again and then just go tell God, tell him I'm sorry. You got to stop doing it. At some point you got to stop. But it's a problem for you. Is vaping. It's really easy to get high. I've had gas station weed. You can get high on it. You can get high. You can just go buy an Elf vape and just keep hitting it and you're high. It's great. It feels fantastic, but your life, you also feel like shit the whole time. Don't do it. But that's the Soma, right? The Huxley's Soma they talk about in the Brave New World again. Everybody high all the time. They have Soma cannons. People are riding. Shut up. We're going to blast you with Elf vapes in the streets. And then just fall down into an Orgy-Porgy dog pile and have your polycule, and nobody belongs to anybody, but we all belong to each other, so nobody matters. We're all equal, so why do your rights matter more than anybody else's? Nobody has them anymore. You can't say the word rape when you make YouTube videos because you get demonetized for saying rape, because in the future of Huxley's Brave New World, there's no consent. So get rid of the idea of rape, because it's all rape. So don't use that word anymore. We don't like it when you say rape, because so many things are rape. You're being programmed. You're being raped. Your mind is being raped. Right? Yes. So, I don't know I just don't want to watch anything anymore. Not even old movies. I went secondhand. I got really cheap. I got Cowboy Bebop, which is Japanese cartoons, which is poison, right? So I was like, I remember people saying that this was good. So really cheap, I got like, I don't know, it's like 4 or 6. The Cowboy Bebop, it's like the whole thing, except I'm missing the first 2. I'm like, I don't care. So maybe I will watch them. I've had them for weeks. I got them for really cheap, peanuts on the crumbling dollar, and I don't watch them. It's warmer outside. There's a lot of shit to do outside. And when I'm inside and I'm clip grabbing things to watch offline, because I don't want to watch anything online, I want to clip grab it offline. I did see somebody, I saw a beautiful woman, I did see her asshole in her vagina, house cleaning in 4K. I didn't believe that one. I saw somebody's video that said, hey, you could just see everything. You can see like a stained brown butthole without, you know, shaved on YouTube. It's just through, she's cleaning on all fours and she just points it right at you. And I was like, wow, like it's really all there. My heart was racing because I never see that shit anymore. I don't look at pornography. And I was like, wow, like I forgot how much I liked having a woman present to me. And there she is cleaning. You can see it all. I said, you can see that it's not a hers wasn't bleached. I just saw everything. And she looks back at you and she's winking. It's like, watch, it's really great, right? I'm cleaning the kitchen. It's probably not even her house. A woman on all fours pointing it at you. It's terrible. You don't have to sign in. You can just see it without signing in. Like there it is. I was like, wow, you can see it all. But you know, like there's like a veil, a veil of like, what is it? You know, like gossamer between you and her asshole, and you can just see it. I don't need that. I didn't say I didn't want it. I said I don't need that. I don't need to see that without even signing in on YouTube. I just did it. That was Sunday. I saw that. I just saw that Sunday. I'm recording the video. I'm making this video on Wednesday evening, and Sunday afternoon I was like, wow, I forgot what that looked like. Yeah, they're have brains down. That's why I call them turd cutters. The poop comes out of there and it stains the place around it brown. That's shit stain. That's why people bleach them. They have the BBL, Brazilian butt lift, and then they have the BBBs. It's the Brazilian butt bleaching. You know who watches that? It's kids. Like adults just go find pornography, but kids can find it on YouTube. The type of 4K transparent house cleaning. I did. I typed up the search and I was like, there it is. It's true. Because I remember I was one of the guys that did the videos. Hey, body painting shows a clam in the thumbnail, but it's painted blue or has glitter on it, and it's just the thumbnail's a clam. No hair, of course, obviously. And it's just, I don't want to see that shit, but anybody can. And it's still like that. And I'm sure that if there would have been, I believed it when I saw 4K transparent house cleaning, and I was like, nudity without signing in. But there's other stuff you can just see it. Like, you can see bouncing titties in wet t-shirt contests, and you don't have to sign in. You can just type up whatever to search. Bouncing titties TikToks, and you can just challenge, and you can just see them. I believe it. I didn't search that one, but probably you can. I know that the 4K house cleaning shows me a clam and an asshole with shit stains. It's a ruiner. It's a ruiner. You don't have, like, nobody has to pay for pornography. It's probably still free. I heard that they're censoring it in some states. They'll bring it back. They'll let you, you'll just use your VPN and go to another country, and you can see disgusting things, money shots, whatever it is, whatever you want, whatever you like. Horseplay, whatever it is, disgusting stuff. A woman with a raccoon, whatever. Yeah, it's the internet. I blame the internet. I used to blame Japan. No, I blame the internet. It's the thing, like, what brings us to globalization. If anything, it would be the internet. And they've made it do it. That's how the demons work. They just want us to do it to ourselves. That's why I wanted to change my videos. It was hard to do, to delete everything. I still keep thinking I had all this stuff. I deleted all these things, and it probably pissed a couple subscribers off. I'm sorry if it upset you. Like, what? Like, you're maybe going through my videos because you liked watching me humiliate myself in videos talking about our destruction. Well, don't worry, I'll find new ways to do that. But I'm struggling with this. Like I said, I deleted all my videos, and I said I want to make different type of stuff, and I don't know how to do that. I don't really have a cool idea for multiple short films consistently. I'm tired of complaining. So what's my alternative? I walk into frame with basically the same thing that I've been doing. I'm still doing the same thing. I don't know. I definitely have more sympathy for women. I think about Adam being in the garden by himself, and he's fine. And then Eve shows up. Eve gets preyed upon, and then she's like, "Here you go, Adam." And he's like, "Okay." And then they both get in trouble. What Adam was supposed to do, that he didn't do, it doesn't matter. It's a foregone conclusion. We know what happened. He should have said, "God, look what Eve did. I don't know what you want to do about this, but I know that I'm not supposed to do that. She did it. Look at her. Look, she's hot. She's like probably the hottest woman that ever existed. I mean, if God made a woman for Adam, you know that she's going to be a looker, right? Like, why would he make her ugly? Oh, he's going to give Adam a middle of the road Eve? I don't think so. He'd probably all the best everything, right? You couldn't even, AI couldn't recreate how hot Eve must have been. And naked. Without sin. Whatever. It's all good. It's the Garden of Eden. It's paradise. Everything's, and they got kicked out. Why? Because she had to do the one thing that you're not supposed to do. She did it. Adam was supposed to not make excuses for her or join her or participate. He's supposed to say, "Dad! Help! I don't know. She did the thing. Look at her. I can't do it." But he did. He did the same thing. She had the forbidden knowledge, and she's like, "Here, have this." And he did. It's still Adam's fault. He was supposed to be the boss. The head is the husband of his wife. It's never going to be Eve's fault. So when I see all the horrible stuff that women are doing and men are rejecting, it's good that the men are saying no, that they don't like that. The women need to know. And it's sad that the damage has been done. And it's sad that it's seeming to me, like through the false filter of the internet, that all women are damaged goods and they lie about their sexual number of men. It's heartbreaking. It's still like, what did we expect? We were supposed to stop women from doing that shit. Now they're pointing their asses, cleaning somebody else's house for free. And it's like 13-year-old boys are probably the ones that are watching it, trying to find as many as they can. Signing in, and what can you see if you sign in? I don't know. I don't want to see that either. And besides, if I want to see a naked woman, I can just do a safe search off, and it's there for free. I never have to pay for anything. Who has an OnlyFans? If I want to see her, I don't have to pay. I can just type it in, and somebody put it up there. Somebody paid $5 for everybody. Do I need to bring in the numbers again that the average OnlyFans girl made less than $150 a month if she made any money? And most people don't make any money. But if you are making money on OnlyFans, it's an extra one. You can't live off $145 a month. It's certainly not now. I keep seeing people's videos saying that the middle class is shrinking. And yeah, it's by design. It's part of that whole, they told us what they were going to do, and they're just trying to... I told you that Trump was a bozo. I told you he wasn't going to help you. And Elon Musk is evil, and he really is the devil's helper. His Twitter costume, his $17,000 Halloween costume that's in his Twitter. Did he change his Twitter image because people complained about it enough? It's him in a Halloween used to be him in a Halloween costume called the Devil's Champion. That's the name of the $17,000 Halloween costume. He's championing the devil? He's a jerk. He's the guy that says AI is dangerous, but he wants to put a chip in your brain. What would have access to the chip in your brain if not AI? I'm not saying it's going to happen, that it will ever happen, but you know that there are people that they already experimented. Probably cute teenage girls that escaped Epstein Island have chips in their brains, or whatever the new island is. I don't know what they call that now. Bikini Bottom, whatever you want to call it. The island. Did you know that one, that the longitude and latitude for where SpongeBob SquarePants lives is Epstein Island? And now they got they have like islands all over the place. You think it has to be an island? It's right on dry land is probably where the biggest, most evil compounds are, where they chop up your beautiful children, whether they're male or female, and they drink their blood and shit and make them eat their guts. And you want to be knighted by the king or the queen, you have to smash a baby's head with a walnut hammer. Whatever you got to do to get in the club, the blood club. I don't know. But anyway, it's a ruiner. And we have the opportunity to make our own content. Maybe I'm not creative enough, but I've been thinking my thoughts about what could I make, like a short film or something. I'm just tired of complaining, and the reason I know I'm tired of complaining in my videos is because I'm tired of watching other content that I used to like, and I'm like, I can't hear this guy complain again. I don't want to hear. I don't care what she thinks. I'm sick of the complaining. I know. We know. They're out to get us. The wealthy elite whose fortunes shape the fates of nation are using their fortunes to have everyone sacrificed and offered up to their gods that they worship, which are the demons. I feel like mankind is caught up in a war where he's using us to prove a point to his sons that failed him. Is that a wrong perspective? That God loves us so much? Well, then why does he let all this horrible stuff happen, right? It feels like he's trying to prove a point that we'll come and worship him even though they're killing us. It's true, though. That even though they're killing us and we're being offered up to demons, why do we have to be used as cannon fodder to prove a point to demons? To angels who have become demons or unclean. Why? Tell me what I'm missing about this equation. How long does this shit have to go on? We're ruined. Let's create a world where nobody gets to grow up and develop properly because they can't have parents, and because the children become ward of the state as the welfare system. And our parents can't, even if they stay together, they have to work so hard we never get to see them, and we're raised by pedophiles in daycare centers, and the classrooms have litter boxes and all this shit, and everything is a psyop, and like they're preying upon us for everything. We've been giving I'm telling you, you have no alternative, but you gotta fucking pray to God and ask for help. And hope that he listens to you, because I don't know what's going on with me. I feel like he needs to call me back. I'm just saying. It's personal, but whatever. It's Extreme Narcissism TV. I can say that to you if I want to. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to You know, like I don't see any videos that uplift or inspire me. It just gives me more fodder to complain about. To hear about this shit, to hear about what they did today, how to Switch. You want me to talk about Switch? They made Switch 2. I never even saw the first one. My nephew used to play on the Switch. Is he getting the second one? I don't know. I don't really talk to him. He's but he's grown up man. But they made Switch 2, and in the future you own nothing and you love it. They're giving you a console, and they're like, anytime we want to shut it down, if we don't like what you say on other social media, is what it equates to. If we don't like what you say if you don't have the right opinions, Nintendo's going to shut off your Switch, and then it just won't work anymore, and it'll be useless. So more substantiation and evidence for physical media. When all that does is make the price of physical media go up so that it's harder to get old stuff. And then, so like, I remember people like, all the games are going online, because I knew people that play, because grown-ups and old people play video games too now. I don't. I hate them. I told you I hate video games. I fucking hate video games. I'm sorry I said the F word. I hate video games. But if you're going to have them, you better have physical media, because you're not even going to be able to play them unless you're online. I'm wondering when they're going to get around to trying to change the electrical outlets to save the environment so that you can't plug anything in to watch DVDs or VHS or play old PlayStation games or whatever the hell you want to play. Game Boy, send out 5G will make a thing that Game Boy doesn't work, and it melts Game Boy and it smells like melting circuit board or whatever. I don't know. I exaggerate to clarify. It's enough that 5G would melt you and cause cancer and stuff on purpose. Don't have your phone on. My phone stays inside a Faraday box. It's a tinfoil hat for your phone, and they work. Just keep that, and you know, don't sleep with the phone by your head. Don't sleep with the phone on. Don't sleep with the internet on. If you want to have your computer on because you need some media to go to sleep to, don't be online with your computer. Just learn how to sleep in the dark. I don't know. I understand not wanting to sleep in the dark so you can wake up from sleep paralysis and the lights are on or whatever. I don't know, you know. All I can say is, you know, keep praying to God. Maybe your relationship, it's worth it to me to do it, to continue to do it, praying for myself, praying for other people, praying for you, praying for the world. I'm not going to stop. Luke 18, the persistent widow, the tenacious widow, if you will, some different versions of the Bible call it different things. Tenacious could basically mean the same thing as persistent. So pray to God for help for all of us, and you know, for yourself and your own small petty life and everything, and for everyone else. The church used to take care of the widows, right? They would say, tell the young widows to get remarried, otherwise they're going to get into trouble and be gossips and become whores or something. So, you know, the young widows get married, you're still viable, somebody might marry you, even though the guy you wanted is dead. I dated somebody that was in love with a dead guy. We broke up. And it wasn't even her husband. So the church used to get on point. The church used to take care of the widows. It was like an important thing. Like, you know, the world was harder in the past for old ladies. Now, for a time, it's been made easier, and women can, you know, take care of themselves, and sisters doing it for themselves and all that shit. I remember when that came in the 80s with the sisters are doing it for themselves bullshit. And it never went away. It's, you know, now we're in like, there's different waves of feminism. Now we're in crimson wave feminism, where they're going to taste their own blood soon. And they are. They're making TikToks where they're drinking their own period blood shit. It's fucking disgusting. That's the breakdown of society. Yeah, they just want us to destroy ourselves, and they got to the women, just like in the Garden of Eden. How do we ruin everything? Get to the women, and they did. And now the guys don't want them, and there are no, you know, passport bros are hoping to go to get their perfect virgin bride, and they just wind up getting another used up whore from another country who actually was like probably a child prostitute or was molested by all of her uncles, because, you know, like how it sucks to live in other places where passport bros go. And then like, oh, I got myself some kind of Asian woman, and it's just like, yeah, sorry. How's that working out? Is she great? Probably not. Hope you can keep her just the same. I hope it works out. I think people are made to pair up by design. God wanted it that way, right? God wanted men and women to be together. That's why he said, don't fornicate, get married, make it sanctified, and you can both be bad at sex before you get married, so that when you're married you can discover that whole world of marital bliss together, and it won't be grieving to God. He knew why he wanted people to be married and not to have sex before they're married, because it's a thing for bonding. It's also the way that he made the act of creation be. He's like, I want people to develop properly. So if you want to develop properly, a man and a woman come together, although probably the guy's going to come first, but you know what I mean. I meant like to join together one flesh is what I meant to say. He wanted it to last your whole lifetime, so that you would get all the levels of life where when you're grandparents you can help your kids raise their kids until you die. So they messed it up all, and now you got, cougars and MILFs and GILFs, which is grandmas. I guess that's what GILFs means, grandmas that you would love to fornicate with. That's horrible. I've had old ladies come on to me. It's gross. I don't want to have sex with them either. And some guys, that's what they seek it out. That's sad. And it's lame. And lame meaning weak and less than, and all the things that lame, all the things that go into what being lame is. Yeah, that's awful that you want to screw somebody's grandma. If you are a grandpa and you're old people and you're going to die soon and you get married to each other late in life, fine, do that. But everybody wants young and beautiful. Even old ladies want young, you know what I mean? Like, now it's being encouraged that old ladies should go after younger guys and stuff. It's just to wreck everything. It's just to destroy society. The last 6 Roman emperors were gay. Look what happened to the Greeks. It was the ancient vice of the Greeks that destroyed them. What was that? Sodomy. God made Sodom and Gomorrah an example for all of history. Say, I don't want you guys doing, the place is called Sodom, and whatever a Gomorrah was, it's so foul that we don't even know what a Gomorrah is anymore. It was such a dirty sex act, probably. We know what a Sodom is. We have those today, right? That's part of the last 6 Roman emperors. And a Gomorrah, that's a dirty thing, right? It's not Star-Lord's girlfriend on Guardians of the Galaxy that he didn't even wind up with, right? It's something dirty. A Gomorrah is so filthy, it doesn't give you black eyes to join the blood club. It makes you turn green. That's something about a Gomorrah makes you turn, is it toxic shock? Is that a Gomorrah? What is it? There's only so many things you can do with a human body, right? And still live. Or be the shell of a man or a woman, right? Or a child, for that matter. It must have been pretty ripe, whatever a Gomorrah is. Rotten. Must have been rotten. So anyway, I don't know why people do that. Poo comes out of there. Why are you so obsessed with that? Anal gazing. That's what the demons made fun of Aleister Crowley. They said, stare into the eye of Horus. And he's like, where is it? I'll do it. I'll do anything you say. A butthole. Aleister Crowley would, for crystal ball, get out of here. He was staring into somebody's asshole. Straight down into hell. I think on Aleister Crowley's deathbed, he said he regretted it too. He's like, yeah, I think they fooled me. Him and Anton LaVey. Anton LaVey, in his version of the Satanic Bible, he had a section called Bitchcraft, and he said, find out what guys like. He was teaching women how to be witches. That's what Bitchcraft is. It's right out of Anton LaVey's version of Satanism. And he said, sometimes as boys, men get things imprinted on them. Find out if he has a kink, and then just play into it. Like if he went to Catholic school, then maybe dress up like that, and then he went to Japanese school where everybody wears uniforms, dress up like Japanese schoolgirl, whatever it is to get your target, because that's what Anton LaVey told women. Like if a woman wants a man, he said that's the man's your target, so just play into whatever he likes. Find out if he has a kink or a fetish, and he explains what they are in the Satanic Bible to women to become witches. And we know how women, there's a thing called witch talk for all the young women are on witch talk and they want to manifest stuff and everything. Not your will be done, God, but, you know, your, not God, your will be done, but, you know, do as thou will. That's a Crowley quote. So in the Bitchcraft Bible, which is satanic, Bible Black really, in the Bitchcraft section, he says that there's a thing called imprinting, and a switch can be flicked inside of a person, and then a thing will become a kink, and then it'll be with them probably for life. And I would call that a trauma. You trigger a trauma, and then they keep repeating that cycle of abuse. They keep repeating that trauma. They keep acting it out again. That's why there's a dominant and a twink in gay relationships, because the twink is, you know, like everybody's repeating the cycle of childhood sexual abuse, right? That's the gay man's lifestyle. That's cruising for boys, is you were preyed upon, and then you grow up and you prey upon. And the same, however it works out for women, the cycle of abuse to the point where a woman's like, I hate men. I get it. But it goes both ways. You know, they're trying to make it so we don't trust each other. It's part of the divide and conquer strategy of a New World Order, where one of the points in New World Order, what does that look like, where they're explaining it to people who would want to invest in that. Dick Cheney being one of the numerous authors of it, it said a series of small-scale conflicts at all levels, and that means also inside of us, to always have us conflicted inside of us. And yeah, it's divide and conquer. It's the only strategy they need. Just create division all across the board. Have people cut from all over the world coming to America and calling New York a melting pot, or America as a melting pot, and then get all the people here from all over the place and have them fight with each other about whose it is. Come to America as an immigrant and raise a flag for your country. Yeah, this is ours now. And you came from a shit country because it sucked for you and you don't want to go back there, and you're willing to fight and do violence to stay here in America. I'm in America. I don't know if you know that. And then they're raising the flags from the shit country they came from. That doesn't even make any sense. That's stupid people. Vote Democrat. Because there's a Nixon video that I've used before. I'll put it up again. Maybe I'll put it into this video. Maybe I can put it in now. I'll tell you when I'm going to put it in. There's a Nixon, it's the Watergate tapes, I think. And he's talking about a TV show called Archie Bunker, and then it leads into him talking about that the liberals are trying to create cultural collapse through homosexuality. And now you can see that they are.
The point of it is to comment. I do not think that you glorify on public television homosexuality. You ever see what happened? You know what happened to the Greeks? Homosexuality destroyed it. Sure, Aristotle was a homo. We all know that. But with Socrates,
he never had the influence of television.
Yeah. The last 6 Roman emperors were fags. You see, homosexuality, immorality, generally, these are the enemies of strong societies. That's why the communists, the left-wingers, are pushing each other. They're trying to destroy us.
That's what a pride parade is. What's a pride parade? If you want to do the simplest definition of define pride parade, it's a parade about having sex in defiance of God's will. He doesn't want that happening, so we're going to have a parade about it, to be prideful about who we have sex with in defiance of God. That's a pride parade. It's the deadliest of the 7 sins. God gave Noah the rainbow as a reminder, so they invert the colors of the rainbow. They make the rainbow backwards. Luciferian inversion, if you will. And that's the rainbow flag. It's a mockery of God's gift to Noah, or you could say to man, of the rainbow. Pride, the deadliest of the 7 sins. So what is a pride parade about? It's about butt sex and dudes blowing each other and this. Pride, vanity, narcissism. I got a great name for a channel. I don't know if I should. I don't know if it'd be a good thing for me to get the hits. The bigger you are, the more arrows they throw at you. Then you become like the people who have whole channels where it's just people make their money shitting on everything that Joe Rogan does. You can say that people are psyops and they're co-opted and they're part of the Freemasons or whatever, but I don't think that when Joe Rogan started out making, podcasts or MySpace videos, that I don't think he knew back then that he was going to have so many arrows shot at him today that people were going to make, their income, or at least a side portion of their income, on YouTube videos by dumping on by watching everything he does so that they can tear it apart, It's mean. Like, I don't know what to watch anymore. Like, I want to see stuff. I want to clip grab things to watch, not online. Go watch my video if you haven't seen it on my support for clip grab or any of those other things. Clip grab seems to be the safest one. I know you can't clip grab everything on YouTube, like age restricted videos you can't clip grab anymore. I know there's other things that you can download videos off of YouTube or other platforms from, but I always say clip grab because I don't know the safety of the ones. They all seem kind of sketchy. I don't know what another good alternative is to downloading videos. Clip grab's so easy. But I'm a big clip grabber. I don't watch stuff online. I watch it on clip grab. Like, when I see a live stream, it's already old. Very few. Like, I think once, or if not, no, once this year I was online when I typed into somebody's live stream when it was actually happening. And I was like, yeah, I don't do this. I don't care about participating like that. I make videos and you can watch them. And I read the comments. And not even all the time. Like, I read my comments like I answer my phone. I check it every now and then. And if I have to be, we have to use our phones. We live in the world. But I just want it to be a landline. I thought about putting a landline in, and I'm like, there's no payphones anywhere anymore. So, I don't know. You can't even find the space where the payphone used to be. It's not even a hole in the wall. They've been gone for a while. Did I say this already in this video? Did I say, are there still call boxes on the interstate? Is it just a place to plug in your phone? I don't know. You can plug your phone in your car, but not if your battery. I don't know. I don't want to get into that shit. But I hate the cell phone. Yes, we've all become sorcerers. We're worshiping on our phone. We're praying. We're looking down like this, and we're not praying up to God when we're on our phone. I suppose you could hold your phone up like this, but you're still on your phone. But going down like this seems like worship. Look at the value people put on the worthship, the value people put on their phones. It's not healthy. So enjoy them while I got them, while I give them. But I feel like me doing another video sitting down like this is a placeholder. I want to move on to do something. I still want to make stuff. I like doing it. I kind of like editing. I think a lot of people have come to like editing. I'm not special, so if I like it, a lot of other people probably like editing stuff. But I gotta do it differently. I'm tired of just sitting down doing these. I don't know how consistent I can be with sitting down in front of the camera like this. And yeah, it does bother me what happens to future generations even after I'm not here, even if they're not in my bloodline or whatever. I don't like what they're doing to us. I want to stop them. I don't want them to program us into off the charts on the spectrum autards. I don't want Gen Alpha and Gen Beta shitting their pants and they can't read. I want to figure out what's the quickest way to get them to be to Gen Z, whoever can't read Alpha, everything beyond Z and beyond whatever the alphabet they're doing again. I want to help, but they're not watching my videos. It's probably, I don't know who you are. Are you young watching my videos? You're probably old. You're probably my age. You're probably millennial. It's probably, I think the age range was like, that watches my videos for analytics said like 35 and older, and like dudes. I believe it, but I don't know. I just want to do something, but My videos don't get seen, so what am I helping? Maybe I need to stop putting my face in them, start a new channel with puppets, and talk about this stuff in a way that people will understand. Yes, I am making videos for kids. It's about puppets, about don't be stupid and learn how to read and stop shitting yourself. The diaper thing. There is some kind of weird diaper conspiracy to propagandize the idea that we would grow up and shit ourselves and then eat it. You will eat the diapers. You get high on it. You don't realize the world, because climate control, I'm sorry, because climate change, we have to eat bugs and shit in diapers, and we'll get high on the shit, and we'll re-eat the shit and we'll recycle, and it'll save the environment. That's perfectly fine, you know, outside of the horrible place we live where there's no trees and they have algae tanks instead of trees. Have you seen this? I've talked about it before. They want to put algae, they want to take the trees out of the cities and put algae tanks in, because algae tanks, they say, which is a fucking lie, will be more efficient at producing clean air than trees. No, that's a lie. But they have them. They already have algae tanks set up. They're sickos. They're evil bastards. This is the most evil shit. Thanks. I hate fortune cookies. May you live an interesting time. I hate fortune cookies. Whatever. May you live in interesting times. I hate that. I hate that saying. Is that Confucius? Is that an analect of Confucius or whatever? I hate it. I don't want to live interesting times. I want boring people fearing God and loving Him and going to church. And I want the wealthy elites' heads on pikes. I want that top 1% and all their social engineers and BlackRock. I want it wiped off the face of the earth. I want God to open up the pit and send these snakes and vipers and bozos alive down into hell, like Prophet King David prayed it in the Psalter. I pray that one a lot. Send them down alive into hell. Let them be food for the vultures or the jackals, however they put it. It's not always said the same way, but anyway, it means just make them stop. I want it to stop. I want us to live lives of peace and dignity. This praying, why do they say bless those who curse you? Why? If only for this reason you do it, because it heaps coals on their head. You're praying for them blessings, that they would come around and know that it was God, so that they could become saints or holy martyrs, or so that they would stop doing evil against us. Even if it kills them, it will get them into heaven. Eternity is a lot longer than this earthly life, which has an end, and they're trying to make that even shorter for everybody that's not them. And how do they stay alive? Drinking blood and adrenaline and all this stuff. So anyway, why bless those who curse you? Because if only for this reason. When you do that, you're heaping coals on their head. You're blessing them and they're cursing you, and it just makes it worse for them. Such are the legalistic ways of demons, and the demons are just following what they have to go by because God set down the rules and everybody has to obey them. We have free will not to obey them, but the demons got to obey the rules in a way that we've been given free will to obey or not obey. So you might as well obey willfully, because if not, you leave yourself open to attacks by demons, right? So be good. And I want a new opinion on whether or not we can have strong drinks sometimes or wine to ease our distress, because I don't know if I might have to. It's part of the reason of me deleting my videos. I don't know. I think maybe sometimes we're allowed to have these things. Maybe nobody needs a cigarette, but I mean, what did I get from cigarette smoking? Well, ultimately, it just started to taste bad to the point where I stopped smoking because they don't taste good anymore. I smoked enough cigarettes where they tasted bad. Maybe God was a gift from God that they tasted bad. So I quit. I'm like, I don't do this. But what did I get from a cigarette ever? Like 25 minutes of inspiration, 25 minutes of like, oh, I feel inspired. And I would feel like I'd smoke a cigarette and it'd be like energy, not even necessarily relaxing thing, but it was more like a creative spark. I don't know how cigarettes work for everybody. All over the world, people smoke cigarettes. I don't think it makes them creative, but that's what it did for me. Smoking a cigarette was like it gave me like a fake sense of inspiration that would fade like over like 15, 20 minutes. I didn't read that somewhere. That's from smoking enough cigarettes that's what it did to me. And what was I smoking? The American spirit. That's probably, the organic cigarettes are called American Spirit. Is there another brand of organic cigarettes? Because I don't know one. But I was like, I'll only smoke these then. But it's called American Spirit. What spirit is that? Probably an unclean one. It has some kind of totem pole bird, Native American bullshit on it. What kind of spirit is that? Because the Native Americans used to give offerings to the tobacco spirit. So I don't smoke anymore. And I liked it until it tasted bad. Now I don't even, why would I want to do that? Vapes were better. I was like, I'll try THCA, Delta 8. They put them all together in a thing, and then you just have like 5 puffs and you're like blasted off. Don't do that. I don't know. I'm staying sober until I have some kind of substantial, like yeah, I think I'll, you know what I mean? Like I just be sober. I can do it. I'm not special. If I can do it, you can do it. Stay sober. Don't use me as an excuse to get high or drunk or whatever. But I don't know. There are some parts of the Bible where it talks about God gives in the Old Testament. He says, "Here's a bunch of things I want you to do. Then you can have strong drink, and I'm okay with it." And it was just like a certain time. But I don't know where that is in the Bible, and I don't know how to search it, like how to type it up to search it. Where does it say it's okay for us to have strong drink on an occasion? I've come to think that like booze and alcohol were for people who were dying. Now I don't know what I believe. I want my relationship with God. I'm tired of other people trying to paint it. I tell you to pray. I don't tell you how to live. If you read the Bible and you pray, God's telling you how to do it. And then maybe you'll agree with me on some things, but whatever the devil wants, I don't want him to have it. And bitches is crazy. It's horrible what they've done to women. Men are supposed to, again, like men and women working together, that's great, but we need that. But it's divide and conquer. They divided us and conquered us, and they isolated us into our own little fantasy world. And that's the Matrix, all the Matrix shit that people talk about. That's getting us to be in our life pod, death pod, same thing. To be isolated and bummed out and saying, look, all I got is gaming online with my friends, 4 walls, weed, booze if I can't afford weed, and porn because there's no real women in my life, and I could never get a woman as hot as just giving it away or getting railed for free online. And then same thing for women, just flip it over for them. They have their wine, they have their pets instead of kids, they're lonely, they can watch guys that would never rail other chicks. You can have cam girls, cam guys, or whatever, and that's divide and conquer. And games. Now girls play video games. When I was growing up, there was arcades, but the only reason that girls were in arcades was because boys were in arcades. They didn't care about games. Now look at them. Now they play games. Of course, do they really like playing games, or are they shit at playing games? They're not as good as the guys, right? But they play games with their tits out. And that's what Twitch is. And they want everybody, all young people, to be communists, so they sign up for their own annihilation. And, death to communism, Marxism, socialism. It's a curse. And all those, underneath it all those, Karl Marx was a Luciferian. Underneath it all, he was a devil worshiper. And so were all those other guys. I'm trying to think of some of those other names. Anyway, they were all devil worshippers underneath it all. Yeah, I don't know. So anyway, Planet Daddy issue, call your father. I'll put it right here. I'm gonna get blurry now. Planet Daddy issue, call your father who art in heaven. Amen. I'm back. So, I guess what I want to say in summation is, if you've been considering spending less time online, go for it and do it for an extended period of time, and then see if it doesn't make you feel better. You know, and then stay away from TV. I don't know if you still have TV. That's not even part of my life. Like, I just have internet and everything comes from that. I don't have cable TV or any of that stuff. I don't even know if like a TV without being plugged into the internet, I don't even know if that even works. Can you even watch? It used to be if you had just a TV and you didn't have cable, you got channels 3, 6, and 10, or you would have 12 channels. I don't even know if you just get nothing without the internet, right? I don't know. But anyway, you don't need it. The movies are programming, they're evil, it sucks. The pop music is evil, it sucks. Daily slop is what they call it. It's daily slop. It's depressing. The people that talk about God, nobody gets it right. Not even me, but I'm like, you know, even I'm kind of disappointed with the channels where people talk about God. I'm like, yeah, no, it's my relationship with God. You know, it's, I don't believe it. You can't believe anything. You can't believe everything anybody says. You know what I mean? Even if it's, wow, this guy's really with God. Nah, he's messing up too. I don't know who you want. I can't suggest you any God channels to watch. I can't. If you want to know the truth biblically about the Israel-Palestine thing, go watch the archive. Maybe I should put that clip at the end of this video. I'm going to put that at the end. Somebody put a clip up of the archive. If you don't know who he is, you can go check out the archive. He's the guy that uses the Bible to prove to Muslims that they don't know what they're talking about and that they don't know the Quran or the Bible. So yeah, I'm going to put the archive clip. I'm glad I came back to do this, because now I'm going to go watch the archive clip that's right after this. I'm going to go now. Planet Daddy, you should call your father. I'm not putting up the words. I just did that. So anyway, stay here and watch this clip, because it's great. Like if you were doing debates, which I don't recommend, but if you're going to do them, here's your argument where you win. When you talk about fake Israel, yeah, you want to know about the state of the world, stay around. There's the truth of it. They failed him. They're not the real Israel. We are.
You said you're pro-Israel. That means you're pro-Zionist. Why?
Well, because in the Bible, it's mapped that is their land, and that's where the
Who told you that?
thing will take place.
Yeah, but who told you that? Because you're going to a certain church that teaches you what's called dispensationalism, a dispensational view of the scriptures. That's not necessarily what the New Testament teaches, nor is it the view of the church historically. That's more of a modern teaching. Okay. I know that this is what you've been taught, because I was taught that. So that's number one. So number two, were you taught there's still God's chosen people?
Yes.
Yeah. So number one, your view about Israel is wrong. This is why you're fighting. You're fighting a battle that's not worth fighting, because you have a wrong view of Israel. They're not God's chosen people. Go to Matthew 21. Open up your Bible. Matthew 21, read 33 to 44.
Okay. Listen to another parable. There was a landowner who planted a vineyard. He put a wall around it, dug a wine press in it, and built a watchtower. He rented the vineyard to some farmers and moved to another place. When the harvest time approached, he sent his servants to the tenants to collect his fruit. The tenants seized his servants. They beat one, killed another, and stoned a third. Then he sent other servants to them, more than the first time, and the tenants treated them the same way. Last of all, he sent his son to them. They will respect my son, he said. But when the tenants saw the son, they said to each other, this is the heir. Come, let's kill him and take his inheritance. So they took him and threw him out of the vineyard and killed him.
Now, before you move on, you understand what the parable is about, right?
Yes.
The vineyard is what?
Israel.
And the tenants, the vine dressers, are the rulers, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And their last chance, their last hope of getting it right was what? What did the owner, who's God the Father, do as their last chance to get right? He sent his son last of all, right?
Right.
All right. So then Jesus already says what response will be. They'll kill him.
Yes.
When they kill him, what is God going to do? Now read. Continue reading 44.
Okay. Therefore, when the owner of the vineyard comes, what will he do to those tenants? Jesus said to them, have you never read in the scripture, the stone the builders rejected has become the cornerstone. The Lord has done this, and it is marvelous in our eyes. Therefore, I tell you that the kingdom of God will be taken away from you.
From who?
From the Israelites.
Yeah, so why would you say they're God-chosen people? Jesus just said, when you kill me and reject me, the kingdom will be taken away from you. So where did you get their God-chosen people?
I think I got it from
the misreading of the Old Testament. Yeah, I know. Now, so you saw what he said. The kingdom will be taken away from you, right?
Yes.
All right. So that's number one. Now, number two, let me tell you who the true Israelites are. I'm just going to give you scripture. I'm going to give you the Bible. So now let me show you who a true Jew is according to the Jews that wrote the New Testament. These are Jews. Mm-hmm. These Jews are going to tell you who the true Jews are. They're going to tell you, not me. Okay? So Jesus just said the kingdom taken away from you. Kingdom's not yours anymore. Look what the Lord also says. Go to Matthew 8, read 10 to 13. Matthew 8, 10 to 13.
When Jesus heard this, he was amazed and said to those following him, truly I tell you, I have not found anyone in Israel with such great faith. I say to you that many will come from the east and the west and will take their places at the feast with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven. But the subjects of the kingdom will be thrown out into the darkness, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
So wait, the subjects of the kingdom at that time were the Jews, right?
Yes.
But Jesus said, the subjects of the kingdom will be thrown in hell, whereas people from the east and the west, meaning non-Jews, those are not ethnically Jewish, they will eat with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, but you won't. Okay. And why did he say that? Because a centurion, a Roman soldier, commander of 100 soldiers, a Roman soldier, a commander of 100 soldiers, showed such faith in Jesus that he says, I have yet to see such faith in all of Israel. Did you hear what our Lord said? This Gentile, who's a commander of 100 Roman soldiers, trained to kill, he says he has more faith than anyone in Israel. And that's why people from the east and the west will sit with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, but you Jews who are given the kingdom, you'll be thrown in hell for rejecting Jesus. You see that?
Okay.
All right. Let it trouble you because you need to unlearn what you've been taught. Now, go to Romans 2, 26 to 29.
So then, if those who are not circumcised keep the law's requirements, will they not be regarded as though they were circumcised?
You understand his point there before you move on? Because you got to understand what you read. What is he talking about? What is Paul saying here?
Okay, so the ones that are not circumcised are the Gentiles, or the ones
yes.
that are Jewish. Okay.
And he's saying to the Jews, you who boast being Jewish and you have the law, when you have a Gentile who keeps God's moral commands and ethics, though he's not circumcised, won't God consider him as if he had been circumcised?
Yes.
Now watch what he says to those Jews who are circumcised but break the law. Now read it.
The one who is not circumcised physically and yet obeys the law will condemn you, who, even though you have the written code and circumcision, are a lawbreaker.
So who's better in the eyes of God? Ethnically Jew who breaks God's law, or a Gentile who's not circumcised but honors God and keeps his ethical moral demands?
Well, a Gentile who honors God, because I understand the circumcision.
But now it gets better though, because now you're going to see who a true Jew is. 28, 29.
A person is not a Jew who is one only outwardly, nor is circumcision merely outward and physical. No, a person is a Jew who is one inwardly, and circumcision is circumcision of the heart by the Spirit, not by the written code.
So you were just told what a true Jew is. A true Jew is what?
Someone who follows the Lord's laws and ethics in their heart and truly, and not just by outward.
In other words, yeah, you're a follower of Jesus Christ, because for Paul, to follow the law is to obey Jesus Christ. So you're just told right now, a true Jew is one who's spiritual, circumcised spiritually, born of the Spirit, united to Christ. And now I'm going to show you this is the teaching of the entire New Testament. And I'm going to show you what the New Testament says about those Jews who reject Jesus. They're said to be fake Jews. They're not really Jews. In fact, would you be shocked if I showed you Paul saying the Jews who reject Jesus, they're actually Ishmaelites? They're the sons of Hagar, the descendants of Ishmael. They're not the descendants of Sarah. Would you be shocked if I showed you that?
Yes.
You would be shocked, right?
That's a huge thing.
I'm going to show it to you. Galatians 4, verses 21 to 31. It's right there.
Okay. Tell me who you want to be under the law. Are you not aware of what the law says? For it is written that Abraham had two sons, one by the slave woman and the other by the free woman. His son by the slave woman was born according to the flesh, but his son by the free woman was born as the result of a divine promise.
Mm-hmm.
These things are being taken figuratively. The women represent two covenants. One covenant is from Mount Sinai and bears children who are to be slaves. This is Hagar. Now, Hagar stands for Mount Sinai in Arabia and corresponds to the present city of Jerusalem.
Now, did you catch it? Jerusalem on earth is Hagar.
Okay.
Did you hear it?
Yeah, Hagar stands for Mount Sinai and corresponds to the present city of Jerusalem. Okay.
So here you are, a pro-Zionist, pro-Israel. You are fighting for the Jews who are living in the land that Paul said is the land of bondage, the land that enslaves the descendants of Hagar, not of Sarah.
Okay.
I didn't say that. Paul just said that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now, then, what is true Jerusalem? And who are the true sons and daughters of Sarah? Now, keep reading.
Okay. But the Jerusalem that is above is free, and she is our mother. For it is written, be glad, barren woman, you who never bore a child. Shout for joy and cry aloud, you who were never in labor. Because more are the children of the desolate woman than of her who has a husband. Now you, brothers and sisters, like Isaac, are children of promise.
Who are the children of promise who belong to Isaac?
Now
Christians.
Yeah, okay.
But the Jews who reject Jesus, they are sons of Hagar. Keep reading.
Okay. At that time, the son born according to the flesh persecuted the son born by the power of the Spirit. It is the same now.
It is the same now. Notice, just like Ishmael was born of the flesh, not of God's promise, because God didn't promise that he would give Abraham a son from Hagar. So Ishmael was simply their human decision to do so. But God did promise to give Abraham a son from Sarah. And just like in Genesis 21, Sarah told Abraham, get rid of the woman, the bondwoman and her son, because he has no share with Isaac. And God said, listen to what Sarah said. And so here Paul is saying, just like in Genesis 21, God had Hagar and her son banished from Isaac so that she was removed. Paul is saying, you too, you Christians, you are like Isaac. Get rid of the bondwoman and her son. And who are they? The Judaizers. Those Jews who are telling Christians who are not ethnically Jewish, you have to keep the law of Moses and get circumcised. And he says, they are Ishmaelites. You have nothing to do with them. Get rid of them.
Okay.
Finish it, though, all the way to 31.
Okay. But what does Scripture say? Get rid of the slave woman and her son, for the slave woman's son will never share in the inheritance with the free woman's son. Therefore, brothers and sisters, we are not children of the slave woman, but of the free woman.
Wow. So I want to ask you a question. I'm a little baffled here. Who are the sons of the slave woman, according to what Paul just said? The Jews.
Hey, okay.
He's talking about the Jews. That's why he mentioned Mount Sinai in Arabia, which corresponds to Jerusalem. Those Jews who still want to keep the Mosaic law, who still want to follow Moses, they are the sons of the bondwoman, have nothing to do with them. And what did he say about Jerusalem? Is Jerusalem, is that the true Jerusalem? And is that the Jerusalem that God delights in? Or is that the Jerusalem that is represented and typified in Hagar, the bondwoman, not the free?
No, I think what you said, the one that's typified.
Don't think what I said. He said it there, Galatians 4, 21 to 25, right? I didn't say. So make sure you're understanding what you're reading.
Right.
That's what I got from your Bible. So which Jerusalem is the Jerusalem that delights the heart of God?
The heavenly Jerusalem in Hebrews and Revelation. And
go to Hebrews 12, 22 to 24 to show you that the real Jerusalem is the one in heaven. And it's coming down at the end of the age when the Lord returns.
But you have come to Mount Zion, to the city of the living God, the heavenly Jerusalem.
The what?
The heavenly Jerusalem.
So there's a Zion in heaven?
I guess so.
Don't guess. Come on, sister. Don't guess.
According to this, yes.
So there's a Zion in heaven?
Yes.
And that's a city of the living God?
Yes.
Heavenly Jerusalem?
Yes.
All right, anyway, keep reading. Hebrews 12, 22 to 24.
You have come to thousands upon thousands of angels in joyful assembly, to the church of the firstborn, whose names are written in heaven.
Hmm.
You have come to God, the judge of all, to the spirits of the righteous made perfect, to Jesus, the mediator of a new covenant, and to the sprinkled blood that speaks a better word than the blood of Abel.
So in heavenly Jerusalem, that's the city of God?
Yes.
And in that city of God, you have Zion and Jerusalem?
Yes.
And who lives there? God the Father. Who lives there? Jesus Christ. Who lives there? Myriads of angels. Who lives there? The spirits of those who died in Christ, who are now perfected, because their bodies are in the dust, their spirits are there. And what are they having there? They're having church.
Right.
So which is the true Jerusalem that God delights in?
The heavenly Jerusalem.
Exactly. Because remember what Jesus said? When the Jews rejected him, the kingdom would be taken away from them, and the city and the temple would be destroyed as a sign that God was done with them. So you caught it, right?
Right.
Now go to Revelation 21 to see it is the heavenly Jerusalem that is the real Jerusalem, and Sarah symbolizes the heavenly Jerusalem, and we who belong to Christ belong to heavenly Jerusalem. Those who reject Christ belong to earthly Jerusalem, which Hagar represents.
Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and there was no longer any sea. I saw the holy city, the new Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride, beautifully dressed for her husband.
And when that heavenly Jerusalem comes down, guess who's coming down with it? Now read 3 and 4.
And I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, look, God's dwelling place is now among the people, and he will dwell.
Oh, wait, did you catch it? When does God dwell with mankind? When heavenly Jerusalem comes down. Because that's the city of God where God dwells in, right?
Yes.
So when that Jerusalem comes down, that means God is coming down to dwell with us in the new heaven, new earth. So look, God's dwelling places with men. Now keep reading all the way to 4.
They will be his people, and God himself will be with them and be their God. He will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain, for the old order of things has passed away.
Okay, now, I'm going to show you now who the true Jews, the true Israel, the true people of God happen to be, slowly, but you're following this pattern. Go to Galatians chapter 3.
Okay.
Now, I want you to see who the true offspring of Abraham is. Are you ready?
Yes.
Read Galatians 3, 15 to 18.
Brothers and sisters, let me take an example from everyday life. Just as no one can set aside or add to a human covenant that has been duly established, so it is in this case. The promises were spoken to Abraham and to his seed. Scripture say, and to seeds, meaning many people, but and to your seed, meaning one person who is Christ.
So who's the true seed of Abraham?
Christ.
He is the seed, right?
Yes.
The one person, Christ. He's the seed, right?
Yes, the one seed. Yes.
All right. Now, go to Galatians 3, 26 to 29. Now, watch this. Galatians 3, 26, 29.
So in Christ Jesus, you are all children of God through faith. For all of you who were baptized into Christ have clothed yourselves with Christ. There is neither Jew nor Gentile, neither slave nor free.
Wait, there's no longer Jew nor Gentile?
Yes.
So why are you making a big deal over Israel against Palestine? Reread that again.
There is neither Jew nor Gentile, neither slave nor free, nor is there male and female, for you are all in one Christ Jesus.
For you're all one in Christ Jesus.
All one in Christ Jesus.
And then what are you? If you're in Christ, what are you? 29.
If you belong to Christ, then you are Abraham's seed and heirs according to the promise.
Wait, sister. The seed of Abraham are believers in Jesus who are baptized into Jesus?
Yes.
So a Gentile who believes in Jesus and is baptized in Jesus, he is the son, she is the daughter of Abraham, the seed of Abraham?
Yes.
So why are you making a big deal over the state of Israel and taking their side over against Palestine? You don't take anyone's side. You just read from a Jew, those who are baptized in Christ, ethnically Jewish, or a Gentile or a male or a female. You're all one, and you are the seed of Abraham. Abraham is all of your father. He's the father of all of you. So now a Jew who rejects Jesus, Netanyahu, and a Palestinian who loves Jesus and he's baptized in Jesus, in the eyes of Jesus, which of those two is the real Jew?
The Palestinian is.
So you just destroyed your case for being pro-Israel.
This is a lot. You have to understand. And
I know it's a lot because you've been indoctrinated like I was. But what I'm trying to get at is, if you believe your Bible and you let Jesus tell you what to believe, and the Holy Spirit-filled apostles and the New Testament writers, Paul wrote that he's a Jew. I didn't write it. I didn't write Galatians 3. And in Galatians 3, he told you, there's neither Jew nor Gentile, Greek, neither male nor female, neither free nor slave. You are all one if you've been baptized in Christ, and all of you are the seed of Abraham. Well, if Netanyahu rejects Jesus, then according to Paul, he's not a real Jew. But that Palestinian in Palestine who's been baptized in Christ, he is a real Jew. So when a bomb is dropped on his building and everyone in that house is killed and their infants and babies are killed, don't tell me God is fighting for Israel. Don't tell me that. You think when Jesus sees Israeli children, Israeli infants, Israeli babies, he prefers them more over those Palestinian children, Palestinian babies, Palestinian infants who are being killed? Oh, it's okay. They're Palestinian children, but these Israeli children I love more. Then that's not my Jesus. That's not the Jesus of the Bible. If that was my daughter, see, I'm thinking about it, I want to cry. I'm not trying to put on a show. I got two angels. If I had to carry the lifeless body of my daughter, I would ask God, let me die. I don't want to live anymore. Lord, if I have found favor in your sight, take me out of this world to see the lifeless body of my daughter in my hands. Let me die, Lord. I don't want to live in this world anymore. So then to see a man carrying the lifeless body of his daughter in his hands, or a baby, that's too much for any human to handle.